So you've purchased your sewing pattern, your bag making sewing pattern, and you've downloaded the PDF and you have printed the PDF onto paper. What do you do with your pattern after you've printed it? Hi, I'm Teresa from 360 Handmade Bags, and thank you so much for being here. If you're a subscriber, thanks for coming back. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here, and I'm just thrilled that everybody is here. So as a bag maker, I have many patterns, and I purchase them online from wonderful, wonderful pattern designers who sell their patterns as a PDF over the internet, and I can be purchasing these patterns from anywhere in the world. So this is the type of pattern. This just happens to be the Magnolia Ray, Brenna's little pattern. This is going to be one of my first tutorials on how to make this wonderful Magnolia Ray traveler pouch that goes on a tumbler, a water tumbler. You can wear it as a crossbody or have it as a wristlet. So anyhow, you've purchased your pattern, your paper pattern, you've printed it all out. You don't, maybe if you have a great tablet or you have a laptop computer that you save your PDFs to, you can follow along on your computer without having to print the whole 50 pages or whatever of instructions. And so what do you do with the pattern pieces or pattern pages once you've printed them out? Because we know, like this is as an example, these are all the pattern pieces from Lynn's Handmade, the crystal convertible, which is a great shoulder bag that you pull on the straps along the side and it converts into a backpack. So what I do, first of all, when you print your patterns, do as I say, not as I do. You are to make sure that when you print your patterns, you're printing at 100%. I guess my printer, when the last pattern I printed out, I printed the pattern at 75%. And I guess my printer maintains those settings. So when I printed out the crystal convertible, this is the guide that you have to follow. You have to make sure that this little test square, it says 1 inch. You have to make sure it's 1 inch, because as I printed the whole pattern, I realized, oh no, this is too small. So that's not even an inch, because this is the size. Huge comparison. So like I said, do as I say, not as I do. And this is the actual 100% size. So what I do when I print all of my patterns, because I started off with just using the paper patterns. Well, they get all crinkled and it's muggy and they rip and you cut them and all of that. So what I started doing is I bought myself a cheap little laminator, desktop laminator from Amazon. This is the Oidozac, so O-I-D-O-Z-A-C. It's not an expensive one. In fact, honestly, this is my third one. I burnt out the first one. The second one I bought was really good, and it was fast. But somehow I got one of the laminating sheets wrapped around the heating coils and it just destroyed it. So I just bought myself a cheap one. Unfortunately, this is too slow because I'm a Speedy Gonzales, the Roadrunner, but it does the trick. So this is a desktop laminator. And what I do is I buy a box of these laminating sheets. And these ones are 3 mil. And somebody else said that they use 5 mil. So they're each individual little pocket sheets. This comes in a box of 200 from Amazon. And actually, I bought this box here. There's about maybe 25 left in it. I bought that in September when I checked my Amazon orders. But just so that I made sure I had some in stock, I just got a new box. And so there's 200 in this box. That's going to last a very long time. So that's what I use. And what I do is I take one of the sheets, and the laminating sticky part is on the inside. And every single pattern piece I run through one of these pockets, and I run through the laminator. And then what I do is after it has gone through the laminator and it's the pocket, then I cut the pattern piece out. At first what I was doing, I was too anal. I cut the pattern pieces all out, then I ran them through the laminating film pocket, and then I cut them out again. So it's like, well, that's kind of dumb. Like, that's double duty. So I just started putting the whole sheet in, and then I print them. Now, if I have a whole bunch of little pieces like strap connectors or things like that, then I'll just kind of cut around it, stick them all in one pocket so that maybe there's 2 sheets of them printed, and maybe it'll just make one pocket so I don't waste one. And then I'll run it through, and then I'll cut each one out individually. So that's what how I process mine, because the laminating of the pattern pieces creates a template. It creates a sturdier pattern. So here is an example, is the crystal convertible. The main body I showed you, okay, well, I'm not going to show you it because it has pattern pieces, but that's 4 of the different pages. So this is the size of it when it's all done. So what happens is I, each one I cut out, and then I use packing tape to tape them all together. So, but this gives you a nice sturdy pattern to use over and over and over again. And what I do to store them is I just use Ziploc bags, and I put the pattern at the front where it's clear so I can see the pattern, and then I put the pattern pieces at the back, and that's where you have that writing. Or you can get no-name ones or whatever, but that's it's the freezer bag, and that's what I use to put in, store my pattern pieces in. Now, if I decide that I'm going to get a tablet someday, to have a tablet handy right in front of me, I would only print the front page and put them still in the Ziploc bag with all my pattern pieces. But then I can use my tablet, instead of printing out, say, 50 pages of a pattern, a written pattern, I could just use my tablet and just scroll up as I work the pattern. And just use the front cover as the in the bag, so I know which pattern is which. I was going to say something else about that, but now I can't remember. Anyhow, that's what I do to process my patterns. And I have, like, you can see the cabinets up here. I have a whole whack of them in the double doors. And there's a whole whack of them stored up there. This tub, it's heavy, because they do get heavy. So this acrylic tub is from iDesigns from Canadian Tire in Canada, and I think it's in their kitchen section, but it's a storage tub, and these are all of the patterns. These are my most frequently used patterns, and they do get heavy, but boy, I'll tell you, it sure makes it easier to store them this way. Or you can get one of those little, like, Rubbermaid tubs with the handles and stuff like that. But that's what I do with my patterns. So, that's what I was going to say. So one of the things, like, with the front of my patterns, I just lost my earbud. So with the front of my patterns, what I do, so I don't have to go flipping through the whole printed out pattern, is I find the seam allowance. I'll find out what the seam allowance is, maybe if it, the zippers, so I can have something handy, and I'll always just write it on the front of the pattern so that I have it handy right there, so I don't have to go searching for these things in the pattern. Anyhow, I hope this helps you figure, like, what storage systems, or what do you do with your patterns once you've paid for a pattern online and once you have downloaded and printed your PDF patterns. So what do you do with yours? I'd be really, really curious, because I think a lot of people are curious. The bag making groups that I'm with, like Jeannie's Designs as an example, Barbie's asked all the time, what do you do with the patterns, and other bag makers are asked that too, because people want to know how this is how I process my patterns, and that's how I store them. I don't file them in any specific order. I just have that tub, and I know that those are the ones that I use the most, so that I can just go flipping through them, pull the bag out that I need, and go for it. But let me know if you have a certain way of processing and storing your PDF patterns. I'd love to know that too, and I'm sure a lot of other people will as well. Anyways, thanks a lot for hanging out with me, and we'll see you the next time. Take care.